Hello everyone, Yes Guy Gaming here with another Olympic update, and with all of the Team Canada's, beach and indoor, I mean sitting still has a chance to get the job done, but with the indoor and beach volleyball teams eliminated, I figured I wanted to revisit their Olympics for each of the three teams, the indoor men and the two beach women's teams, and just kind of touch on their tournament, go through what happened, some of the positives, some of the disappointments, and kind of cover their journey through the tournament. So hopefully it's something you find interesting. I'll give some of my thoughts on the teams and the results, and maybe what we can look for moving forward in the future. So let's get to it. So let's start with the men's indoor team, and they ended up falling in 3 sets in the quarterfinal to the Russian Olympic Committee team, who looked dominant throughout. Canada really struggled. They lost the first set pretty handily. The second set was a frickin' battle, and that's where the game was won or lost, and we'll talk about that in a second. And then the third set, Canada just looked like they couldn't put anything together. We had a bunch of subs coming in and out. There wasn't really a ton of rhythm, and Canada ended up losing that one, not without a fight, but first and third sets were kind of pretty much Russia was all over Canada. In that second set, Canada was fighting hard and battling, and that was really where Canada needed that second set to kind of stay in the match, to extend things, to get some confidence building, and they had it. They looked like they had rhythm. They were siding out well. I mean, it went up to 30-28, so there was some clutch set points that Canada fought off and kept things going. But a crucial point at the end of the second set is Nick Hogue gets called on a hand setting violation, like at a crucial time in the second set of an Olympic quarterfinal. Like, just frankly unacceptable. And maybe that's just me, my Canadian, I'm bitter because we lost, and I absolutely am. But frankly, it's just unacceptable to see a match end, or a set end in that way. Like, ref needs to absolutely swallow the whistle there, let the boys play and figure it out. The fans aren't tuning in to watch to see the ref blow the whistle and end sets and intense battles like that on a hand setting violation. Nobody wants that. I mean, I have my thoughts around the hand setting and why do we even bother enforcing that in volleyball, but that's a different story. In this moment, it wasn't even that bad. Let the boys play, let them figure it out, especially in this tense moment. So super frustrating there for myself and just fans and Canadian fans to see how that ended. When looking at the indoor men's team's tournament as a whole, though, I think you have to reflect on why we ended up playing this really solid Russian team in the quarterfinal. I mean, we had some tough pool play results, and it started the tournament with going up 2-0 against Italy and then gaffing it in the 5th set and losing in 5 to that team. That is something that you see at university teams do all the time, get complacent, and you kind of expect that your national team is going to really deliver and close sets out. Not that closing out Team Italy is really anything easy, but that's kind of something you expect when you're in a rhythm like that, when you have a team on the ropes, that you put them away at the Olympics. So that really set the stage for Canada to have to kind of struggle through and kind of make their way to getting into the quarterfinals, which they managed to do. But it also then came another loss to Team Japan, who is a feisty team, and they play well and they play hard, but Canada by far had the size advantage. Canada is a physical team. Canada has experience on their team. That Japanese team is super young, super physical for sure, but the fact that we lost that without really much of a fight is just very confusing to me as a Team Canada fan. I mean, maybe if we lose in a 5th set battle or 4 sets where each set is a battle, but we lost 3 straight to Team Japan, who ended up losing in the quarterfinal to Brazil pretty handily. Brazil handled them pretty easily. So not really a great result to see there from Team Canada to start the tournament in that way. I mean, Canada then rebounds and pummels Venezuela and Iran. So those are 2 great wins to kind of build some momentum for the team. But then we end up playing Poland in that final match of the pool, and you can kind of see where this is building. Canada has a choice to improve their ranking and maybe get a more favorable crossover matchup, or if they lose, they're probably going to end up playing the Russian Olympic Committee team in the quarterfinal. And that match against Poland, Canada loses 3-0, and I watched it, and it was just kind of hard to watch. Like, we didn't really have much rhythm. It was unclear who was in and who was out and why, who was playing, and that always seemed to be the problem with Team Canada, is it was unclear who our main guys are and who the best guys are and who we're setting at clutch times. So I think overall we can feel pretty good about Team Canada's performance. I mean, a couple of big wins against some good teams, but ultimately 4 losses and 2 wins is not really what you want to see out of your national team when they're hoping to go win a medal. So tough results there. I don't want to beat up the team. I know a lot of the guys in the team, and that you could tell that they were working their asses off for sure and competing hard, but I think overall you have to kind of question as a fan, what the heck are we doing? Like, we're going to this tournament and we're not only are we losing to good teams, we're not even competing. We're 3-0 against Russia. We're 3-0 against Poland. We lose 3-2 to Italy after going up 2-0. We're losing 3-0 to Japan. So it's like, we got to be able to at least compete with these teams. We're not going down, with a massive fight. We're going down kind of easily, which is a little bit frustrating as a fan. And you see such promising Team Canada haven't qualified. We're in the tournament. You want to see teams fight and really struggle. And, the players certainly were, but just from a whole team perspective, it just wasn't quite there. So hopefully we got some young guys who are coming up who can get some experience and kind of carry the torch moving forward. Might be shorter, only 3 years for the next Olympics, so it could be around the corner. So hopefully Team Canada can rally, keep that experience from this Olympics, and maybe bring it the next time around, because I really would love to see Team Canada Indoor playing for a medal. And hopefully our women's team can make it there too. So let's flip over to the beach volleyball and talk about the women's results. We'll start with Heather Bansley and Brandy Wilkerson of Team Canada after they had such a huge victory. They struggled in pool play, barely made it out of their pool, had a tough first round draw against Sponsel and Clays, and ended up getting a massive win. Battled through on that one, beat that great team. They were disappointed to lose. Team Canada moving on, and then you get a favorable draw against this Latvian team, a beatable team, a winnable game in the quarterfinal of the Olympics to get into the medal rounds. And I have to say, I think we're all disappointed by the performance that we saw from Team Canada there. They battled, they struggled, they were fighting through. It was a third set, so it wasn't like we got walked all over, but just the amount of errors that Heather and Brandy had in that match was just a ton. You could tell we were super nervous. Those are tough moments for sure. That Latvian team, though, looked smooth. They looked confident. They were smiling. They looked like they were having a great time. And we looked just stressed. Missed a ton of serves, ton of hitting errors. Not a very uncharacteristic performance from Heather and Brandy. And just, I'm really sad to say I was sad to watch the performance, because I really wish they had done so well and such a great chance to get in the semifinal. And we didn't get it. So Canada will have to wait another cycle to see a team make it to the medal rounds at the Olympics, which is very sad to say. So I think the lessons learning moving forward for this team, and I'm not sure who's going to be retiring and who's going to be playing, but I think as a program, as a country, we have to be prepared for when we get to those moments. We want to be in the state to go out and have a great performance. You may lose a battle against a good team. That's the Olympics, but you want to make sure you leave your best out there. And I think for Heather and Brandy, we can't say we left our best out there. We fought hard, we made a good effort, but our performance was not our best effort. And I think really that's what you want to see. Even if you lose, you really want to see that in the Olympic tournament. Flipping over to Sarah Pavin and Melissa Yumanaparedes, they ended up losing to Team Australia in a tough third set match in their quarterfinal game. A very disappointing result as well for Team Canada there. Sarah and Melissa were the top seeds in the world. They're the world champions. They're top seeds in the world in the tournament. Had kind of a favorable draw to this point, done well. They've been playing well. Their performance was pretty good in this match, I would say, but they ran up against this hot Australian team who played very well, and we just didn't seem to have a solution for it. You can't point at one of the players. Both Melissa and Sarah gave up points. We made a few errors, made some kind of less than ideal plays. I can think of one particular where Melissa tried a volley over on two and ended up getting dug for a big point for Australia. I think the biggest thing here was the serve pressure, though. Australia was putting Canada under a lot of pressure in this match, and Sarah and Melissa really struggled to find some serve pressure, a little bit down the seam here and there, but that Australian team was just solid, and we didn't really have a lot of solutions. So again, another sad result. A team there who we really expected to be competing for a medal and really had a chance to do it, but just the way we ended up coming out to start that first set was not ideal. And again, I think a similar lesson to the other Canadian team, for both Canadian women's teams, is, we fought hard, we battled. I think we can all be proud of the effort from all four of these women who deserve to be there and definitely showed that they deserve to be there. Fifth is the result that's nothing to snuff at, but in the future, when we get to big moments, we want to have our preparation put us in a position to give ourselves the best performance possible. And I think in both cases, we got outperformed and we were nervous. We made a ton of errors. And so, I think that's got to be the lesson, is for Team Canada, when we arrive at big moments, how are we going to put ourselves in a position to output our best performance? Win or lose, we want to give our best at the right time, and I think it was pretty clear that we didn't do that as well as some of the other teams. So a sad and disappointing result, but I mean, a lot of time to rethink and learn and get better for next time around. So that'll do it for this update video. Again, my general thoughts for Team Canada is I think we still need to find kind of what makes Canadian volleyball Canadian, and really find our international identity there at these big international tournaments. I mean, we have the world champions in beach volleyball. Team Canada men qualified. The women are up and coming. Had some great wins and results at the Volleyball Nations League. So pretty promising state for Canadian volleyball. But if we really want to bridge that gap and start delivering medals at Olympics and major tournaments, indoors and beach on both genders, I think we're really going to need to have to find an identity of, you know, what makes winning Canadian volleyball and how can we tap into that and bring it at the top moments. So I don't have a great answer for that, but hopefully everybody can work together and figure that out for our country as we hope to be competing on the world stage in the sport that we all love. So hopefully this was interesting for you guys. Hopefully you found it informational, hopefully educational, but that'll do it. Hopefully we'll see some more games at the Olympics. We'll have some more fun with it, but Team Canada is eliminated, and I'm saddened by it, and so this is maybe my way of processing it. But that'll do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we hope to see you next time on Yes Guy Gaming.